I'm Greg, and this is Will, and today we'll be interviewing Mr. Halverson here. So let's get down to this. Okay. This question. What made you want to be a teacher?
I really enjoy teaching and working with other people, helping. Those are the main reasons I became a teacher.
What do you like about your job?
It's always different. Each day when I come in, I never know what to expect. I think I'm gonna see this or do this, and there's always some kind of new challenge or something happening that I wasn't expecting. So I like the unpredictability of it.
What is your favorite part of your job?
I guess after helping somebody or seeing somebody that's worked so hard to accomplish something and then seeing the satisfaction they get from doing a good job, makes me feel good that I was a part of that.
How long have you been teaching?
15, this is my 16th year overall of teaching, my 12th year in Westwood.
Okay. Which length of a ruler do you prefer?
Which length? Do you mean like metric or standard?
Yeah, metric, standard.
I guess it would have to depend on what I'm measuring. I guess I have a preference for the standard type ruler.
If you could have one power related to your subject that you teach, what would it be?
Power meaning like a superpower?
Yeah.
I guess that superpower would be the ability to read minds. Because then I would know if my students are understanding what I'm trying to teach them. And I'd also know if they weren't paying attention.
Mr. Halverson,
Yes.
what is your teaching method you use in class?
Teaching method? I guess the method I use the most often, I use a lot of visuals. I think when you combine a visual presentation along with the verbal, I think the students are going to retain a lot more. And if you can, along with that, provide some kind of a hands-on or tactile experience, I think the students are going to retain a lot more information than if you just give them a book and say, read this and answer questions.
Does it work with you and your students?
I know personally I learn better if I can see something as well as do that. And so I try and provide as many opportunities as I can for my students to actually try something and do that as well.
What tools do you use for teaching?
The tool, like technology,
Yes.
that I use the most often would have to be my computer here, which has all the information, all the lessons, all the PowerPoints and Mimeo presentations that I use, as well as on the board I have my Mimeo and I have a projector that projects whatever my computer has on it. So if you can just give me a moment, I can show you what Mimeo presentation I might use. Tools or technology that I use with my classes. This is an example of a lesson I've been working on with my class this past week on the brain. We've been studying the different areas of the brain and the different areas that they're responsible for. So in my class I might ask somebody if they know what part of the brain is responsible for processing and interpreting visual information. So I would give them the Mimeo pointer and I would ask them to click on which box of the brain do they think is responsible for interpreting visual information. So Will might point to that one. Oh, sorry, well that's the temporal lobe. That's only responsible for memory and understanding language. Then he would click that box again and he might try a different box. I would suggest this one, Will. Very good, occipital lobe, that's responsible for interpreting visual information. So, and I would call up different students and ask them different questions about how they would or what area of the brain is responsible for interpreting what information, and then they would click on the various boxes, and then we would move on to the next slide after that. And then these are some links I have to some different brain games, illusions that students can try themselves and see how they would, if they're able to figure it out, or if they actually get fooled by it. And most of the time they do.
Thank you for spending some time with and watching our interview. I am Greg, and this is Will, and well, goodbye.